I'm Rebecca Rachmany. I'm the CEO of Gangly Sister Productions, and I'm here with Shoor. So why don't you introduce yourself? Say a little bit what you do and what you've done.
Hi, I'm Iris. I'm a co-founder of Takipi. Takipi is a relatively new startup. I co-founded it together with Talways about a year and a half ago. And we help developers to understand why they're experiencing problems with their production environment. Prior to Takipi, I co-founded a company called Visual Tau. We built some kind of AutoCAD for mobile and web, and were acquired by Autodesk about 3.5 years ago. And since the main achievement with Visual Tau was bringing the product to over 10 million professional users.
10 million. That's impressive.
Yeah, 15 million now, but yeah.
So how did you decide to make a startup? You don't originally come from the technology field. It's not something like, oh, I finished art school, I think I'll have a startup. And how'd that happen?
For me, it was very different. I never planned to have a startup, and I studied architecture. And somewhere towards the end of the degree, I decided that I'm not going to be an architect. It was the fourth year out of 5 years, and I decided to quit school. And I just started working on some kind of a project, and they thought it's a good idea, but they've never really understood it's going to be a startup. So it was some kind of a very long journey, and from 1 month to another, it became a company and became a startup.
What would you say to somebody who they have an idea and they kind of want to start something, but they don't know what to do first? What would you say to them?
I would say that the most important thing is just to start doing it. It's all about doing stuff. I think that most of the successful entrepreneurs that I meet are not the smartest or or have the best background or the best network. They're just more brave than other people. So they're just doing stuff, and they have something that they think of, and they do it, and they fail, and they learn, and they're doing something else. And I fail in most of the stuff that I'm doing. Like, most of the meeting with users are not very successful, and some parts of the products, and lots of stuff that I'm trying with marketing, but I keep on doing. And even if 20 or 30% of the things I do succeed, it's enough to build a successful company. So don't think about it too much, don't try to plan it, don't wait for the right co-founder, don't wait for the right idea or for the right technology, and just start by doing stuff.
In the past, given a lot of talks about marketing, and you still do that. And recently you started this series of talks on the startup of you, which is more personal. And you said it came out of what people were actually asking you. So I'm kind of curious, what have they been asking, So
usually when I give talks or when I write posts, I try to answer real questions. It's not about the thing that I know, but more about the question that I'm being asked. And I've noticed that usually when I meet entrepreneurs, we start talking about marketing, products, and so on, but after 30 minutes or so, we start talking about the challenges, the personal challenges of a startup, how to deal with the long hours, how to balance between work and personal life, how to get along with the co-founders. It always seems like from Facebook and so on that all the other startups are so successful and the co-founders get along perfectly and so on, and just to raise these problems, we're entrepreneurs, but we're human, and there are lots of exciting stuff about building a company, but also lots of challenging parts.
What if I were going to give you a gift, and I was going to give you 1 hour today? Everything else will happen, I'm just giving you 1 hour. What would you do with it?
I have to say that one thing that I'm always, and that's something that I'm hoping that if you interview me a year from now, I would be able to change, but I always put on my calendar an hour just to rethink the product, to go back to the design, so go back to the website and try to see how to change stuff. I always feel like starting with some kind of an emergency room where you get all the tasks, and this user is having some kind of a problem, and you should solve this problem, and you should complete this design, and so on. So I'm always looking for sometimes just to reflect stuff that we've done a few months ago, and to see how to change it, and to think about where the company is going to be 1 year from now. So just to get out of the emergency room mode and to go back to reflecting all the stuff that we have.
Perfect. Time for reflection.